Quiet as only. Just everything got really quiet. I just fell over the room. Well, that song, All the Diamonds in the World, goes back to the 70s, and Scotland was involved in that trip, although it wasn't where I wrote that song. I was in Sweden when I wrote it. But we had been traveling in Scotland, my then wife and I. We drove along Loch Ness looking for the monster and fighting with each other. It was a fun trip though, all the same. We spent about 3 months actually driving around mostly the UK, and then we went over to Sweden for a couple of weeks, and there are many stories that would take too long to tell you all of those stories, but it started with sailing from Montreal to London on a Russian ocean liner. It was a nice ship, and it was reasonably well run as far as navigation and stuff went, but they didn't quite have a handle on what people that went on an ocean liner from this part of the world would expect. So, the first night out, we had beef stroganoff for dinner. It was good, little chunks of beef and sauce or whatever. The second night, we had what was called filet mignon, but it was the same little pieces of beef without the sauce. Then it was boeuf bourguignon, and then it was the same whole, it was a slow ship. It took 7 days to get to London from Montreal. And we had time to savor all these little nuances, so there was a swimming pool on board, but the only people who went in it was a seemingly kind of eccentric British couple, because they didn't change the water. So, a couple of days out and it started looking green, and then by the time we actually got to the other side of the Atlantic, it was kind of it was like blue-green algae, sort of gelatinous, this kind of moving stuff. They were still swimming in it, I don't know. Anyway, the trip started there and it went on from there, and it was, overall it was a pretty good summer. Anyway. But sometimes, you have those experiences and it's great, and you have stories to tell, and sometimes you find yourself just stuck. And that's where this song came from. Holding out a bloody sword. No matter how I squint, I cannot make out what is pointing toward. Sometimes you feel like you've lived too long. Days drip slowly on the page. You catch yourself pacing the cage. I've proven who I am so many times. The magnetic strips worn thin, and each time I was someone else. Stir up eddies in the dust of rage. Set me to pacing the cage. I never knew what you all wanted, so I gave you everything, all that I could pillage, all the spells that I could sing. It's as if the thing were written in the constitution of the age. Sooner or later, you'll wind up pacing the cage. Sometimes the best map will not guide you. You can't see what's round the bend. Sometimes the road leads through dark places. Sometimes the darkness is your friend. Today these eyes scan bleached out land for the coming of the outbound stage. Pacing the cage. Pacing the cage.